And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Starting off with today's satellite imagery, next system here pushing into the Bering Sea with a huge mass of cloud associated with it, and rather heavy rainfall pushing into the central Aleutians. Over an inch of rain falling today at both Adak and Atka, and thickening, lowering clouds spreading into the eastern Aleutians and the Pribilofs. And just to the east, higher pressure with fair skies and light winds, dry conditions, a lot of clearing here in the western part of the state, and areas of clouds and some light snow and flurries going on for the Arctic coast. Light snow here across the Brooks Range, Anaktuvuk Pass down in toward Fort Yukon, and mostly in the form of rain showers here over the central and southern part of the state, with some showers there in Prince William Sound, showers diminishing over the Panhandle, especially down in the south. This low, as we'll see, tracking southeastward here, dropping south of Kodiak Island now, so dry conditions in over the island there as this low stays out in the Gulf there. And for the forecast for tonight, that continues to drift slowly eastward here over the southern Gulf of Alaska. Front will bring a chance of rain in toward the central and north coast of the Panhandle, up toward Yakutat again, westward to about Montague Island. Otherwise, showers, whatever showers are left around south central Alaska, should end here, especially for the Kenai Peninsula, Cook Inlet area. Variable clouds, Kodiak Island with breezy northwest winds, areas of snow, maybe an inch or so here for the northeast interior out to the eastern Arctic coast. High pressure, light winds, just some flurries here along the central coast of the central coast up there, and back into the Chukchi Sea. Stays fair and dry over the western and southwest part of the state. Rain spreads into the eastern Aleutians and eventually into the western Alaska Peninsula after midnight. Rain and wind for the Pribilof Islands, gusty west winds and showers behind that front. And for tomorrow, low center here develops quite close to the Pribilof Islands, so rain continues in that area and extends southward here across Unalaska Island. Rain changes to showers from Unimak Island around Nikolsky with rain and some gusty winds for the Alaska Peninsula. Winds behind this front stronger out of the west-northwest here than they will be in advance of the front, and could see gusts up to 40-45 miles an hour out there, but winds will diminish as you head west, along with some pretty good drying out there and possible clearing. This system stays in the Gulf of Alaska, keeping a chance of rain there along the coast. Right along the coast, inside water areas, dry with mostly cloudy skies, and better chance of rain up here, Yakutat into Prince William Sound. Light rain or showers at times, intermittent. Some of that might circulate back to the east side of Kodiak Island. And still some mixed precipitation up here over the eastern interior in the form of light showers and a little more widespread area of light snow for the eastern Arctic coast and toward the Brooks Range Arctic Village area. Dry in the central interior and out to the west. And for Monday, this system here slides off to the southeast quite rapidly, and the only thing left behind is this very weak trough and a few showers around for the eastern Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula, kind of stuck in the ridge here. And so we're looking at light winds with dry conditions, again, right up into the interior. Very nice weather coming up for Monday here for south central Alaska, mostly sunny, light winds. Sunshine, Kodiak Island, southwest interior, not bad up over the north central interior to the western Arctic coast. And look for some light snow for the central and eastern Boulevard Sea coast down across the eastern Brooks Range. Again, possibly as far south as Eagle, maybe even a little farther south, but for the most part, Tanana Valley will be dry and variably cloudy. Rain pushes in. This system finally heading eastward. That's going to nudge enough moisture northward for a chance of rain all the way up to at least Wrangell, maybe Petersburg, on out across Sitka and areas to the south, dry to the north. Dry for the Aleutians out here. This system coming out of the Russian Far East, too far north to affect the Aleutian chain here, except for the trailing edge of that front, bringing some rain in towards Shimei now too. And we'll see on Tuesday, that develops into a pretty good storm up here, low center over the eastern part of Russia. And that front has some strong winds in advance of it, possibly gales, possible storm force winds here for the Yukon Delta coast and Nunivak Island area, up through the Bering Strait, including St. Lawrence Island. Quite a gradient here across the Seward Peninsula, so some good south winds, maybe gusting high as 50 or more miles per hour. and very windy conditions for the western Arctic coast with mixed precipitation up there. To the east, high pressure slowly moving eastward keeps it dry with light winds down into the Gulf of Alaska and most of the southeast coast now. As another strong storm kind of comes onto the picture here. Actually, that system is this one here, dives southeastward and then kind of comes back onto the map here as a 974 millibar low, but that'll spread rain only up to the Queen Charlotte Islands. And looking at the lows tonight, mostly in the 20s in the interior, north and west of the Alaska Range, south of the mountains though, 30s here, south central Alaska, upper 20s, lower 30s, Copper River Basin in the 40s for the Panhandle, mid to upper 40s for the Aleutians, stepped out there toward Shimmy in the warmer air, 52 degrees for the overnight low. Highs for tomorrow, 45 to 50, south central Alaska, upper 40s, about the same thing there for the Copper River Basin, 50 to 55 from Homer down to Kodiak, and 55 to 62 for the southern Panhandle, mid-50s to the north, 30s in the central interior, 20s for the Brooks Range, lower 30s for the Arctic coast. And the lows for Monday morning, 15 to 20 there in the Brooks Range. Otherwise, to the north and south of the mountains in the 20s all the way down into Bristol Bay. They're freezing out along the southwest coast. And 30 to 35 south central Alaska. Some areas could fall into the upper 20s. Upper 20s for the Copper River Basin, 40s for the southeast coast. Highs for Monday afternoon, 50s for the Panhandle, 45 to 50 south central Alaska, otherwise in the 40s for the remainder of areas to the south here. 30s in the central part of the state, near 40 for the Seward Peninsula, and 20s and lower 30s, Brooks Range to the Arctic coast.